Thanks for clicking on this video. Be sure to subscribe and click the bell icon and turn on all notifications to keep up to date with the latest information and discussions. Something about Dragon Ball that's been forgotten, eh? Doesn't really sound that surprising, in all honesty. Hey guys, MasakoX here. You know, we like to expand our view of the Dragon world to other universes out there. In fact, in the world of Dragon Ball Super, we are, for the first time, about to venture out of Universe 7 on a regular basis to see how other places in the Omniverse go about their daily lives. This is a huge turning point in the narrative, like when Raditz took the world of Dragon Ball Z out into space. This is that big of a deal. But, as we are cheekily reminded by Vegeta in the recently released Broly movie, there are still places that we've heard about in Universe 7 that haven't been really explored, or they've been forgotten about in comparison to other places. This might be a good moment to sit down and take a look at these locations, you know? Now before we begin, I must point out that these places are places that we have been to at some point within the time of Dragon Ball, but after their usefulness in the story is pretty much done, we don't tend to go back there. We tend to forget about them until we either rewatch that particular point in the series or a movie, or somebody points it out to us in conversation like we are doing in this video. These places aren't like your Namex or your Planet Vegetas, or even your Frieza Planet 79. Nope. They don't immediately come to mind when you think Dragon Ball. So, here are 5 places and worlds that we feel that you should remember more and realize that there's yet more to explore. Number 1. The Demon Realm. But Masako, the Demon Realm hasn't been forgotten. It's been in Xenoverse and Dragon Ball Heroes. And yes, you are right. But we haven't really seen that much about it in the main storyline. I will congratulate the games though for touching upon these realms in their stories to keep things fresh. There's only so much of the Raditz to Buu plot direction that we can actually go and take before we go spare because it's so repetitive. Now, one of the first things that we need to mention about said realm is the title of Dabura. You know, Demon King Dabura? That guy with the wicked beard? The guy who polluted our good boy 21's mind in our what if on the said matter? It was for the most part a throwaway line. The purpose of giving Dabura that title, despite the fact he didn't really look like a king, was to give credibility to Dabura's strength. Toriyama does this all the time, give grand titles for not so grand looking characters. But as we know from what we saw in the Buu saga, he became a pretty underutilized villain. The only reason for him being there was to showcase how much more powerful Majin Buu was. Sadly, that is a thing that many Dragon Ball characters have to deal with, bigging up other stronger characters. The first true elaboration that we have on the Demon Realm comes from Daizenshu 7. In that tome, it is stated that the Demon Realm functions as a dimension separate from the living universe, being a sort of reverse of the regular world. It's opposite day every day there. You can see the world in question on this handy dandy diagram, designed by Toriyama himself, which encapsulates the entirety of the Dragon world. You see, it's on that little pointy bit down there. You know, that one at the bottom. Looks a bit cramped, doesn't it? According to Toriyama in the 2009 super exciting guide character volume, the Demon Realm is home to the Makaio, the Demon Realm Kings, and Makaio-shin, the gods of the Demon Realm Kings, who rule over evil and are the antithesis of the Kaio and Kaioshin. Toriyama does not really say where Makaio and Makaio-shin come from, only that delinquent members of the Shinjin, literally core people, that the Kaio and Kaioshin are members of in this race, go to be with the Makaio and the Makaio-shin. It is not clear whether these evil Shinjin ultimately become Makaio and Makaio-shin themselves, or if they simply serve as their allies or minions. It is not known how many Makaio and Makaio-shin there are, though if they are like their good counterparts, there should be 5 of each. Importantly, it is also unclear whether or not Dabura himself is a Makaio or a Makaio-shin. He is called the King of the Demon Realm, Makaio no O, which is what Makaio means, but the terms Makaio and Makaio-shin are never used in the series. Also, Toriyama says that currently the Makaio-shin are weaker than the Kaioshin, but East Kaioshin, or the Supreme Kai, was terrified of Dabura's strength. It is possible that Dabura is simply a regular inhabitant of the Demon Realm who happens to have surpassed the gods who are supposed to be supreme there, similar to how Goku himself eventually surpassed the various regular gods, including Kaioshin. Now that's really interesting. Why is that so though? Well, for those of you guys who actually watched the original Dragon Ball series, you may remember that in the anime filler, Goku actually headed for the Demon Realm, years before Dabura was even a vague idea in Toriyama's mind. There was no trace of his noble beard at all. Goku instead had to fight Shura, who resembled figures from Buddhist and Hindu mythology. This further enhances our notion that Dragon Ball originally got all of its or most of its influences from Eastern culture, in terms of some of its baddies. Sadly though, this difference in realms hasn't really been addressed since, and we doubt it ever will be. These days, Dragon Ball tends to pull more from popular culture. That or Toriyama most likely doesn't remember Shura and the like. Now, of course, the most information that we have about this place comes from Dragon Ball Heroes. In fact, a lot of our info that we have comes from there, where it is stated that it was created by Demigra 75 million years before age, the same year in fact when Old Kai was locked in the Z-Sword. Demigra, along with several other evil wizards, were banished to the bottom of Universe 7. Do you think maybe that meeting where Beerus locked the Elder Kai away had something to do with what was going on with Demigra? Regardless of any possible theories to do with our current GOD, the one to fight Demigra was, of course, Cronoa, later known as the Supreme Kai of Time that we know from the games. It is also stated that Supreme Kais know very little about what's happening down there. The realm is pretty much closed off to the higher realms and the sacred world of the Kais. You can kind of understand as the Kais world has got other things to worry about. As far as the Kais know, the strongest evil to come from there was the Dragon Ball Heroes exclusive villain, known by the name Mechikabura, in times of his prime, obviously. Would it have been interesting to see the Demon Realm in the main continuity? I think so. It would have made for a different kind of story, for sure. That being said, it's kind of odd that the closest nest of scum and villainy isn't causing any problems for our heroes. Moreover, the whole Makaio-Shin debate is pretty curious, as most of the prominent Demon Realm characters seem to be, or resemble, fallen Kais. Now, I remember when Goku Black was a thing, and that was first announced, right? Many people assumed that will have something to do with Demigra, as both Goku Black and Demigra were similar Potara. Of course, remember that one about where Goten was actually Goku Black? Oh man, that was a doozy, right? Now I know, we've already had a fallen Kaio already, but if you twist it well enough, I'm sure that Toei could give us something interesting in terms of a story. Number 2, the World Core. If you're thinking about the sacred world of the Kais, then this is not the case. Said to be the larger version of King Kai's planet, the World Core is the home planet to all the Core people. Who are the Core people? Well, you all know them very well, just not by that name. Essentially, they are the original species from where King Kai comes from. You know, him? He's one of the Core people. If you're not a special golden boy who can become the Supreme Kai, the highest job that you can expect to aspire to is what King Kai does. Understandably, we know very little about this world. Quelle surprise. What we do know is that it has gigantic trees called the Kaiju. No. Not that kind of Kaiju that many of us think about. No, these Kaiju are far more full of foliage. These trees bear special magical fruit from which the Core people are born. Whenever one of the Kai on the Kai planet passes away, the Core people draw lots among themselves to choose who will take the Kai's place and become a new Kai. The Supreme Kais, however, are chosen only from among Core people born from a special golden fruit that is particularly rare. This statement places Shin as being a descendant of the old Kai in question, although it may simply mean that they just come from a single Kaiju tree. Also, if any of the Core people shows evil tendencies, they get sent straight to the Demon Realm without question. If you're a Core person that is born from a golden fruit, like it says in the quote, supposedly this happens every 75,000 years, you are eligible for training to become a Supreme Kai, so Shin indeed was a golden boy. Literally. If Zamasu had the same birth, he managed to dodge a bullet there in terms of skipping out on the Demon Realm. He kind of laid low and tried to break it down from within. That or the Core world works very differently in other universes. It would be pretty cool to see the Core world properly though. It might be a great opportunity to show Shin actually doing something. Sorry. I got carried away there. Something could easily happen to the trees. It might be connected to a demon antagonist. Ooh, options are limitless. We've traveled to far higher places in the hierarchy of the Dragon World, so why don't we just go to the Core World? Number 3, planet Yardrat. For a planet that has taught Goku one of his most important techniques, the instant transmission, we know almost nothing about this place. Now, despite this, thanks to Super and the appearance of Jimizu, it has given us some hope. It shows that Toei hasn't fully forgotten about them, or at least they haven't forgotten the people that live on planet Yardrat. Moreover, they went with a design complementing their anime look, rather than the ones created by Toriyama or Dragon Ball Online. But maybe this can be easily retconned into two sub-races or castes. I don't know how it's going to work, but I'm sure they'll come up with something, explaining the juxtaposing looks. We also know that in Dragon Ball Online, Mira destroys planet Yardrat in age 900, forcing them to move to Earth. So it would be interesting to see our heroes establish some kind of relations with them before then. You know, to give them a reason why they come to Earth specifically. I don't think it's that hard to imagine how you could fit them in, the Yardratians. I mean, a certain galactic emperor is back on his invading spree, and a certain evil goat man might be trying to find some planet-shaped snack. So plenty of opportunities to take us to Yardrat, or at least have them meet with Goku again, and maybe even get some kind of flashback showing Goku's time on Yardrat. And who knows, maybe someone that isn't Goku could learn the instant transmission, yeah? Maybe? No? Just Goku? Alright then. Number 4. King Cold's planet. This planet that we see in the flashback regarding Frieza's rebirth as Mecha Frieza might be Frieza planet number 1. We don't know a lot about this place, other than it was indeed the place where Frieza got his body recovered and was rebuilt as Mecha Frieza. Said planet might be the legendary homeworld of the Frieza clan, and can contain many secrets, and could provide us with a lot of answers that we obsess about lately. And again, sorry about all the obsession about the Frieza clan, it's just too exciting an opportunity to try and find stuff. And even if that isn't the case, it'd be really neat to have our characters travel to the beating heart of Frieza's empire, instead of just seeing the same looking starships over and over and over again. Number 5. Vampa. Yeah, I know, we've just been there, but I feel we only saw a fraction of things that reside on this hostile world. I'm pretty sure that we are going to see more of it, if Broly, Limo, and Chilai will get some kind of screen time. It would be a nice spin on a slice of life episode to see their everyday life on Vampa, with all of the dangers mixed with a daily routine. Also, come on, we all want to see Broly managing to regain Bar's trust. Okay, we may remember Vampa right now, since the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie is fresh in our minds, it only just came out. But I bet that some of you in a year or so's time, you're going to struggle to remember the name specifically of the planet, unless we get some kind of special that sees us revisit that planet. I'm just going to put that out there. I could be wrong, probably be wrong. So what do you guys think? Did you think that this list was good? Are there other places that you would like to see touched upon a little more in any new series or games, or maybe in one of our videos? Leave a comment below and let's get this discussion going, and I hope to see you in the next video. Catch you later!